I'm so happy I have got 8 marbles in my hand. Whatever could go wrong, I'm having such a wonderful day. Oh, I'm just going to put them down on the table so I can do up my shoelace. There we go. Hopefully they'll be okay then, they don't roll off.
Oi, you, give me half your marbles now. How many have you got? 8. Well, give me 4 because that is half of 8. Yeah, 4 marbles for me. See you later.
Oh no, I had 8 marbles, but that man come and took half. So now I only have 4. He's got 4, and I've got 4. He took half of my marbles, and half of 8 is 4. I'm very sad.
Hello, I'm back. You still got those 4 marbles? Well, I want half of those 4 marbles that you've got. How many is that? Yeah, that's right. 2. Give me another 2 of your marbles. Another 2 marbles for me.
He took another half. I've now only got 2 marbles left. I had 8, he took half, which was 4. And then I had 4 marbles and he took another half, which was 2. So now I only have 2 marbles left. I'm very, very sad now.
Not anymore, you haven't. I want another half of what you've got. 2. I'm going to have half of 2, which is 1. It's going to be 1 more marble. Thank you.
Half of 2 is 1. I've only got 1 left. I think I'm going to go home now. Bye. Hi everyone, we're going to look at halving today, and if you've just seen the video of poor Mr. Stillwell and his marbles, you'll know that when we halve a number, you end up with a smaller amount. So halving is actually the opposite to doubling. So when we were doubling, our number was getting bigger, wasn't it? Because we were timesing it by 2. So if we had 2 cubes and we doubled 2 cubes, we'd times that by 2 and we'd end up with 4 cubes altogether, wouldn't we? So double 2 is 4. With halving, it goes the other way. So we're gonna go through what happened to Mr. Stillwell. So I'm gonna write this here, Mr. S. Here, Mr. S, and we'll put the bad man. Bad man. Here. And we can't use marbles because they'd roll away, so we're going to use cubes. So Mr. Stillwell started with 8 cubes, didn't he? But he had to halve those cubes because the bad man came to take them. So what we do when we do our halves, so we've got 8, let's just count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. When we halve, we need to share out the object by 2, between 2. So halving is in 2 groups. Okay, so I'm going to start with 8 in the middle. Go 1 to Mr. Stillwell, 1 to the bad man. 1 to Mr. Stillwell, 1 to the bad man. 1 to Mr. Stillwell, 1 to the bad man. 1 to Mr. Stillwell, 1 to the bad man. So half of 8. Let's write this down here. Half of 8 is, how many has Mr. Stillwell got now? Half of 8 is 4. Now the bad man's run off with his marbles now. He's gone and hidden them away. And Mr. Stillwell's only got 4 marbles left. What could we do next? The bad man came back, didn't he? So Mr. Stillwell's now only got 4. He come back to get another half, didn't he? So half of 4 is how many? So we're going to have to do exactly the same again. So there's 4 marbles One for Mr. Stillwell, one for the man, one for Mr. Stillwell, one for the man. How many marbles does Mr. Stillwell have now? He only has 2, doesn't he? So half of 4 marbles is 2. You see how the number is getting smaller each time? Because we're splitting it into 2 parts. That wasn't it though. The bad man came back for a 3rd time, didn't he? So Mr. Stillwell's now only got 2 cubes, or 2 marbles. Should have got a rubber for the, you never rub out your whiteboards with your finger because you get a dirty finger. So he's only got 2 left now. So half of 2, and the bad man's come back. He's going to take another, he wants another half of how many Mr. Stillwell's got. We've got 2, one for Mr. Stillwell, one for the bad man. There's none left. So half of 2, how many have I got left? Just 1. So half of 2 is 1. The bad man's run off with his cube. And then that was it. Mr. Stillwell ran home. Because he's very sad that he lost all of his marbles. We're also able to use a halving map. This can help us because it shows us what the whole number is in this box here. And then we split into 2 different parts. So we split our number into 2. So if we have 6 cubes in our box, we need to halve 6 cubes. We're going to split 6 into 2, or we're going to divide 6 into 2, or, word we've been practicing quite a lot, we can share 6 between 2. Okay, so 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So half of 6 is the amount in one of these boxes, which is 3. So half of 6 is 3. Let's try with another one. So we've got 6. Let's make it 10. Okay. So we now have 10 cubes in our box on our halving map. Can you have a think of what you think half of 10 might be if we're sharing these equally? Let's have a look. Let's see. 1 and 1, 2 and 2, 3 and 3, 4 and 4, 5 and 5. So half of 10, or 10 shared between 2, gives us 5. Because it's just one of these boxes that we count if we're halving. For your task today, year 1, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set you a challenge. And if you want to challenge yourself further, I'm going to put a link to this website in the description, and you can change your levels, doubles and halves, and you can see what you can half up to. So see if you could half up to 100, or you can half up to 20. But for now, we can do halves up to 10. Okay, so you can have a play on this website. There's lots of different maths games on the Top Marks website. And this Daily 10 is a mental maths challenge. Got all different sorts of things in here. So you can practice your addition, your multiplication, division, stuff that we've started doing and stuff that we haven't covered yet as well. So if you want to give yourself a challenge, you can have a go at the Top Marks Daily 10 Mental Maths Challenge. Today, we are doing halves. We're going to start with this one. So there's going to be questions come up. They come up quite quickly. You have 10 seconds to answer, but you can always pause the video if you need time to work it out. And I want you to find out what half of that number is. So remember, when half, the number gets smaller. So half of 2 is 1. Half of 4 is 2. Okay, so like I was just showing you earlier in the video. So have a go and write these down in your books for me. And if you need to pause the video, that's fine. Okay? So half of 20. If you need time to work that out, you need to get 20 things and you need to half them. So split it into 2 groups. Half of 8. And remember, you can always pause the video. Question 3. Half of 16. Remember that the number will get smaller, not bigger. Half of 2. You've got 2 things. You need to split into 2 groups. How many will you have? half of 18. Half of 10. Half of 14. Half of 12. 2 more questions to go. Half of 6. Half of 4. Your last question. I hope you found that okay. Very challenging, very quick. So I don't mind if you've paused the video to try and work them out. And what we do is we go through the answers this afternoon. Well done.
I've got all the marbles now.